Hello and welcome to Juno New Origins. This video is a tutorial on how to build a spacecraft for the rover missions in career mode. You must launch a craft with a rover built by the professor and on one of the moons of Juno, if we go in this case, and drive to specific locations. The rover can be accessed under the parts menu under payloads. Might be tricky to figure out. I already built a craft like this, but but at first it might be tricky to figure out where to put it. In the end, I went with a design I saw others using a lander with two engines of the size like this, so that there's empty space for the rover like this. This is a quick overview of the parts and the legs, engines. And I ran into another problem. See, there's no really obvious way to put anything under to put a fairing around this lander and put a launcher under it. You try to put a fairing base like this, you'll find that you cannot attach anything under it. So that's no good. Instead, you should use an interstage. Place it like this. And then you want to go here and you want to make sure that auto resize part is turned off. Otherwise it will resize this fuel tank and mess up everything up. There are two approaches you can do here. First is to change this width like this. Change the height as well. And go to this part properties and part style. You change the style from normal to Soyuz. You do need you do need to research overcomplicating things for the Soyuz in the stage style. But again, it's also a pretty useful tech note anyway, because you're going to because when you're doing this sort of missions, you're going to want some stages. So this is one way to do it. And the next part you want to attach is a fairing base. And like this. So yeah, something like that. I already have one I prepared earlier here, like this. And then you can put the nose cone on top and the fuel tank at the bottom. There's the other method, which may be it may look a bit cheaty to some people, but it also works. What you do is you shrink it as far as it could go, and then you take the offset tool and move it downward. So the lander is just floating above it. You can also optionally just shrink it down to a tiny. That way is as cheap and light as possible. And then you just put the fairing base around it like this. And put a fairing nose cone take the lander and a fuel tank underneath it. It is also important to set the staging correctly, so that interstage for the lander, whether it's that tiny thing or whether you've used the use interstage, it should be highlighted when you point here. The fairing base, landing legs, and the engines for the lander should all be in one stage. The second last stage. The last stage would be the rover. And so check the stages for the other engines. There's a link to the graph there in the description. So it comes with a VZ program. It automatically launches it to a parking orbit of Juno. Like this. And then we have orbit. Oh, that's it for now. Safe travels.